everything's different. Good morning.
Your course is behind you, is that what you want?
No.
All right, we're going to get into it today. What you calling it?
What are we getting into?
Oh, we're getting into it.
Come
The
on.
Bible's a dangerous book. I think so.
What's the dangerous book?
The Bible. I think it is.
Well, I wanted to tell you, I really enjoyed your sermon on Sunday.
You did?
Yeah.
What is a human being?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
excellent.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
whole series is interesting.
This is really my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't been able to do this ever. I've never done it.
Oh, great. What?
And
Yeah,
if you
I've
think,
done
I've never done a series on worldview. I was going to teach a class on it here too. I taught it at Marist, not many times, and it's kind of how I was taught at Calvin and at Western Seminary. They would add all the theology and the history and all that stuff. But yeah, this is my wheelhouse. Yeah, I write those sermons in 25 minutes.
You were like,
Yeah, I write them in 25 minutes.
Yeah,
It's all in my head, you know, it's all there, you know, something I've worked at for a long, long time.
It's really.
So it's kind of nice to be able to do it. I didn't know if anybody would like it. That's why I didn't do it.
Well, we like it.
I thought it was too, you know, it's too academic or it's tight, you know, it can be tight. But a lot of people don't like that. So I didn't do it.
Well, I'm okay if you do it some more.
Well, I've got about 10 of them.
Yeah, you're gonna do it.
10 basic ones, yeah. Well, yeah, I'll do it every week, or, you know, probably through Lent. It's a good Lenten thing, I
Gosh,
think
that's
to do.
great. That's coming up.
Yeah, there's only one more week after this, correct?
Sorry?
There's only one more Bible study session.
Well, we can talk about it, what do you want to do? I mean, there's more to do, we can stop, we can keep going. Whatever suits you. I'm here to I'm working for you.
Well, Acts is interesting. It's,
Yeah, I like it. I know.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Oh, spring is sprung.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
back.
Oh, long. Great. I'm
it's,
gonna get shorts on.
I don't know, they're talking about maybe snow on Sunday.
Oh, no.
Well, there's not snow for the
Right.
next 4 days, a possibility of
But it's
snow.
not gonna be.
But not a lot.
Not
2 feet.
2 to 4 inches.
No, I didn't even hear that. I heard like
On Friday?
an inch or two.
Then it's gonna get cold again.
Is it?
Oh, no.
20. Yeah, I know.
At daytime, in the daytime?
I
That's
think
not
so.
what I saw.
I think so. It's gonna be single digits and,
I'm
yeah.
gonna walk there.
Yes, this is like the real McCoy, you know?
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Uh-huh.
So,
Yesterday, 2 gentlemen came and did a little historical on Charles Johnson,
Who's he?
the black war hero
Oh, from Millbrook.
from Millbrook.
He went out,
Oh.
I mean, if he didn't, but somebody did for,
oh, nice.
Yeah, it was very good. It's amazing what Arlington school kids, the part that they had, and they're playing it. It was
Really? Oh, fantastic.
they did a big thing on you this year.
Yeah.
This early,
Because he got the-
last year.
Yeah, he got the Congressional
Medal of
Medal.
Honor,
Yeah.
And Grace Church has has 3 new stained glass windows.
Uh-huh.
And one is Charles, and one is Eleanor Roosevelt, and one is a saint.
Nice.
So
They have
interesting
two
combo.
stained glass windows.
Interesting combo.
And I would have been more shocked if we hadn't gone to St. John and you showed us all of the different stained
Right.
glass curtains. I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
We're gonna go back there too, maybe this spring or early summer, something
I
like
would
that. I wanna go back,
It
yeah.
was so, you made it so interesting and I learned so much about it that I never knew.
Well, and a lot of what I said was true.
Yes, you were leaning forward most of the time.
I went the first time you took the group, and is it different now? I mean, can you see the progress?
Yeah, when the towers is done,
Oh, really?
on the outside, yeah, and the other one's going up. Oh, yeah, those will be done, this is what I understand, is those will be done, I should probably lean forward when I say this. Those will be done, I told Judy I'm telling the truth when I lean forward.
Okay, well, I watched you.
Yeah, the two towers will be finished. Hi, Grace. And then what's has been under consideration for 100 years is the center tower. If you go into the cathedral, they've got this, I want to say the second largest terracotta freestanding whatnot ceiling in the world.
Oh, God.
But it's temporary, because they want to go up in the center. So, and there are different drawings about how that's going to look, and you know, one is a modern tower. We're talking 200 feet, big, yeah, big. Others, it would be still in keeping with the older style of Romanesque. It won't be Romanesque, it'll be, you know, Gothic. Romanesque can't get too tall, you know, from an architectural engineering point of view. But if they're gonna go, not Romanesque, but whatever I just said, they can go up a long way, yeah.
Well, it's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, none of us will see that, but the front 2 towers we might see in our lifetime.
Yeah.
So, hi.
Hi, I want to ask you if you read this.
Lessons from Bobby, 10 Reasons Robert F. Kennedy Still Matters. No.
It's wonderful.
Chris
Would you like
Matthews
to?
is good, yeah. Sorry?
Would you like? to?
Sure, yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah, Chris
I
Matthews, I
just
like.
finished it.
He's a very outspoken human.
Yes, it is. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it's nice, I guess.
Gets to you after a while, that book.
Yeah, people are doing a lot of writing. I don't know if they're doing a lot of doing. Are we at?
Oh,
I don't mean, by that, I don't mean that we're not enough. We're
We're
plenty.
here, let's count it here.
Karen McLaughlin, I don't know if she's coming or not.
so did let me give you a moment message.
Oh, yes.
We're gonna look at Acts 15 today. Acts 15. Oh, we're charging through this thing.
Acts 15.
Breathless approach to Bible study.
Tell me the page. Yes, it will. Oh.
Sandy's here, thank God. Please don't wink it at me after my sermon, by the way. Very disturbing.
Oh, I hated taking that one.
No winking.
What?
I hated taking.
Clapping, winking, stop doing that. You just make me a target.
Oh, he is.
Sorry, I'm late.
You're not late.
Laundry.
You're not late. You're not late, we haven't started.
You gotta go past Luke to get, you gotta
Yeah, I
get
know.
out of that.
I'll get there in a minute.
And John, go past John.
Acts.
There you go, now you're in Acts,
Acts.
line 15.
Okay. I forgot my, see, because I was carrying that book, I forgot my glasses.
Okay, this was.
Protestant churches have Bibles in the pews.
I don't know if that works.
I'll wink at you.
15.
Does everybody know why we have Bibles in the pews? Why do we have Bibles in our pews?
Why not?
It was a
Why
reaction-
not? Well, thank you, Judy. That's a,
It was a reaction to the Catholics, Roman Catholics.
say it again.
It was a reaction to the Roman Catholic belief that the people couldn't read the Bible without instruction.
Right. The perspicuity of Scripture. Nice, huh? Can any, ordinary person read the Bible and generally get it? That's perspicuity of Scripture. And during the Protestant Reformation, Martin Luther, he said, yes. The ordinary person can basically get the gist of the Bible. Yes. So, as a result, we have the Bibles in the pews. Because ordinary people can read it on their own and basically get it. You don't have to be an expert.
I figured they weren't in the Catholic Church because they were too cheap.
No, they were not in the Catholic Church
It was
because
deliberate. It was deliberate.
it was deliberate, and it still is. You do not have Bibles in Catholic churches because we will tell you what's in there, and we will tell you what it
That's right,
means.
and masses
And the
and
present Pope just said that last week.
What did he
Now,
say?
We will tell you what's in there, and we will tell you what it means.
Leo's just said
Yes.
that?
Well, that's a paraphrase.
Uh-oh.
That was a paraphrase, but we want to get back to the Bible, and we got it. We'll let you know.
No, I don't want to know what they think. I want to know what I think.
Well, and that's why we're here.
In all the missions that I went to, my family's very Catholic out in California. They all had, like, the Lent edition printed up in the book, and it was just the lessons in the gospel.
Right.
And
That's all you get. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's all you
that's what
get.
they-
Fragments.
preached
Yeah,
us.
I think that is just terribly wrong. I mean, I have a lot of Catholic friends.
No.
That is just
I'm thinking
absolutely wrong.
past
You know, one of the things that I always admired about probably the Orthodox Jewish people is that they studied it together.
They read the Torah
They
together.
read it together.
Right.
They discussed it and
So
argued
That's right.
points over it. It's like, it wasn't reserved for the rabbi.
That's right.
Everybody read it.
That's
before the
exactly
bed.
right. So the question is, why can't you have access to it?
You can.
I mean, why
don't
why in
you
certain
have access?
why in certain traditions you are forbidden, you don't have access, you don't have clear access to the Bible. Why is that in certain
I don't know
traditions?
why.
Well, there's a reason.
Why?
Power.
Oh, it's always power.
It is power. The Bible, this is one of the reasons why I don't understand why teenagers don't read the Bible, because I did as a teenager.
too.
It is a revolutionary text from start to finish. And we've kind of anesthetized the Bible throughout the centuries in the Christian church. This is what I've noticed over the years. It is a revolutionary text. Love your enemies. How does that fit? Right? Hey Karen, we've been waiting for you. I'm speaking ex cathedra right now.
Excuse me?
I'm speaking ex cathedra.
you.
Do we know this?
I don't know what it is.
That's what when the Pope says something ex cathedra, that's the way it is. Yeah, well, the Pope and I went to school almost right down the street from each other. In Holland, Michigan, we did. Yeah.
With Leo?
He went to a different seminary, but he was in Holland, Michigan about the same time I was. Yeah. So I got a better
I gotta
education.
straighten him out.
Yeah, you got to straighten him out.
I
But
will.
that's what's behind the scriptures is a revolutionary idea, and ideas, and there are many. Like what? You're free. A human being is free.
Absolutely.
God makes us free. How many potentates would like you to know that? None.
So you think that's the reason?
Oh, they're definitely the reason.
Wow.
Keep this revolutionary book out of the hands of ordinary people. If you don't, they will rise up. It is a revolutionary. See, we don't get that anymore. We've been. What do you call these hooven animals and barnyard animals? What do you call those?
Holding animals
animals that just kind of do what they're told, and what do you call it?
Domestic?
Sorry?
Follow the herd.
Follow the herd is the idea, but their barnyard animals are called domesticated. That's it. We have become, in many ways, over time, it's just what happens. We get used to things. But we become domesticated. We have become domesticated as citizens of the country, of this country. We didn't talk like this. We weren't like this 250 years ago. It was hot. It was a revolutionary time, right? It was a revolutionary time. Willing to lay down your life for what?
Freedom.
Freedom. And the Bible, which was written a lot longer ago than the Declaration of Independence, is like that. It has that quality, and that's what happened with the early church. I'll get to Acts in a minute, but that's what's happening in the book of Acts. It's revolutionary. You are a person. No, you're not. You were never a person. Oh, yes, you are. You are a human being made in the image of God. You are a person. And because you've been made in the image of God, you are free. Is there any wonder why Jewish leadership, and especially the Romans, they're going to kill this thing off?
Really?
Yes, that's what this is all about. That's what this is all about.
I guess I was born a revolutionary.
I believe you were. But for many of us, Tom Feet included, to a degree at least, this resonates with that. That you are an individual made in the image of God, and therefore are built, you're made to be free. Now there are responsibilities. You have to discover your calling, and you have to then discipline yourself so you are true to your calling, to your office, if you will, all that sort of thing. But it smacks in the face those that will tell you that you don't matter. And most of history is about that. And it's about that in this country now, too. You don't matter. Trump matters.
Oh, God.
That's who matters. You don't matter. Trump matters.
That's what Trump.
That's it. So what he says and what he does, and Steve Miller and all these other crooks, they are all conspiring for them to matter and no one else to matter, for us to become cogs in a wheel, especially if you can be a cog in a wheel, especially if you're white. If you're of a different color, although we'll kill some white people now, but if you're of a different color, you are a cog that is expendable. That's what's going on. And that's history. This is nothing new, by the way. This is nothing new. This has been happening for millennia. But the Christian understanding of persons all throughout the Bible, and then most clearly in the life of Jesus, is that people matter. You are a gift of God, every one of you. There will never be another you ever again. You're it. Completely, I want to say utterly unique, but if you say unique, it's unique. It's either unique or it's not, right? You are a unique soul, self, that has been made in the image of God. No emperor, no king wants you to know this. No pope wants you to know this. And that's why I'm not a priest, I'm just a pastor. We're all, when I call you my colleagues, I'm not kidding. We're colleagues in a Protestant sense. That's what we are. I have an office. I'm a minister. My office is the minister. Oh, I'm not above anybody. I've got special education. That's it. I'm certainly not morally better than anybody in this church.
None of us are.
Thanks for not saying, no kidding. Right? So that's we miss the fire. The fire is kind of out with this stuff. But there's fire here. This is why Jesus is crucified. He's not crucified for being a great guy. He's crucified because he's a threat to the established order of the Roman Empire and the leadership in the Jewish tradition at the time. He's a threat. They got to kill this guy.
Okay, so you can't just blame the Romans, you gotta blame the Jewish leaders
Right,
as well.
right. The Jewish leadership, I mean, to put a positive spin on them, the Jewish people, like most of the Mediterranean Horn, you know, the whole thing, is run by the Romans. The Romans have very little, let's say, tolerance. You know, you do it this way or else, right? I mean, they were unbelievably cruel. So that's the reality that the Jewish leadership had to deal with. So they got to keep a lid on this thing, right? As far as, you know, Jewish people being revolutionaries, and there were some. Barabbas.
Oh, yeah, Barabbas.
Barabbas is a good example, okay?
Right.
Even Judas Iscariot, Iscariot is a knife, a big knife. Judas Iscariot, right? The knife, Judas the knife, is how he was known. Again, a revolutionary. There was a lot of, well, like there is in any occupied country, there's a lot of discontent and, you know, fuming.
Resistance.
Yeah, resistance. And that's definitely the time of Jesus. It's happening all the time. The Iscariot, they would go to the market, right? These guys would go, Jewish men would go to the market. A lot of big crowds. Have you ever been in a big crowd in a market, right? It's really easy to stab somebody in the back. Really easy. And that's what they did to Roman soldiers. They get them in the marketplace. So that's going on at the time of Jesus.
What's going on now?
Well, we're not very good at it yet, but we'll get better at it. We'll get better at it. But yeah, this revolutionary feeling, it was just thick during the time of Jesus, and the beginning of the church is born at that time. So it's hot. It's hot. If anybody's saying Jesus is Lord, you're dead. Because there's only one Lord, right? And that is Caesar.
Oh, Caesar.
Right? Caesar. You start messing around with allegiances, you are in deep trouble.
That was a wonderful movie, by the way, with Marlon Brando playing, and he gets killed at the end of the movie. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, it's such an old movie. You should watch it because it's all about this.
Yeah, you have to keep this when you're reading this stuff. All of the New Testament is like this. All of it. When you're reading this stuff, it's written and lived in a extremely hot revolutionary environment. See, we miss all that, you know, as Americans, right? Especially if you're white, you don't have to worry. We don't have to worry about putting both of our hands on the steering wheel when the police pull us over. If you're black, you do.
Yeah.
Right? You get taught from a young age. You know, if you get pulled over, when you get pulled over, when you get pulled over, you have to have both hands on the steering wheel. Do you know this? Have you ever heard this before?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that detail, but
Yeah.
I heard that they have to be very.
That's right. Well, that's the first thing you do is you keep your hands on the wheel, because if you reach in your pocket, you're going to get shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why.
Good stuff.
That's why. But if you're white, you don't have to do that. You say, "Hey, officer, I'm sorry. You know, we're all friends here." You know. But that's just to say that most of us have not lived in a hot time like that, where every step, you know, you're looking over your shoulder. Everything you say is censored, right? What I'm saying right now, I should be censored. I mean, I don't care anymore. I'm too old. But yeah, people are listening, people are watching, and so when this happens, when the brand new early church starts with Pentecost, It's nutty. And the Romans are going, we don't like that. We don't like that. And they are completely capable of wiping out an entire village, an entire town. They did it. They would kill every man, woman, and child, all of them, and burn the place down. This is, you know.
Was it still, when the Gospels were written, which was way after Jesus died,
70-ish.
was it still?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Things didn't really calm down till about 325 with Constantine. So they went through a good 250 years since the time our nation was born, let's say. That period of time where you better watch it. What you say, where you go, who you hang out with.
What I loved about the movie was they show you, they're inside the temple, and all the rabbis are arguing about whether they should be for Barabbas or should they kill Christ. And it was an excellent movie.
Yeah. What did they finally do?
What do you think?
Cheers. Yeah, you gotta, yeah.
It was wonderful. And all the act, oh my God, everybody that could act was in it. It was wonderful.
All right. I might watch it.
Okay.
So, has everybody kind of got that idea? When I went to Hungary, I was in Hungary, I don't know, 30 years ago or so, right after right after the Berlin Wall went down. I was in Hungary for a week and a half. And there are a lot of Reformed churches in northeast corner of Hungary. And so we were, I was there to help buy back a Świętospátok University, which was run by the Reformed Church in Hungary. Which we bought on the black market, by the way. But anyway, that's another story. But so we went to all these little Reformed churches all over the place in Hungary, and just talking to ministers. What happened? You know, how's it going? This was a week before their first election. That's when I was there. So the Russian soldiers were still there when I was there. And so, you know, what was it like to be able to preach from your pulpit this dangerous stuff, right? And the secret police would be in the congregation. They're writing notes, right, and all that kind of stuff. And if you tap too hard critically on the government, you're in trouble. And what they did in Hungary, they had the Russians and the Hungarians that were supporting them. What would happen to a minister if he crossed the line? They went after his kids. You can preach whatever you want, but your kids are never going to go to the best schools. They're never going to go to college. And they went after the kids. Their kids. So guess what the Reformed Church ministers did? A lot of them did. They killed themselves. They committed suicide to free their kids. That's what I'm talking about. That's the environment here. So you know, when we have Pentecost, you know, it's great. You know, Pentecost is lovely, and we have our little festivals and we talk it up and that sort of thing. When that happened, they were risking their lives when they were doing that. It was death. I mean, this is death. As far as the Romans are concerned, you're not doing that. So that's what I say. These are revolutionary texts, and we're going to see that in our country too. No doubt about it. It's already percolating. You can feel it, right? You can feel it. That you know, there's the Trump administration and all these other idiots that are pressing. You know, you're going to do it my way or it's the highway. We're going to sue you. We're going to send the IRS after you. We're going to take away your protection, so you're vulnerable now. That's already happening. You got the brown shirts out in ICE with the ICE agents. They're the brown shirts of.
Why don't they call them like they are? Why don't they refer to them as brown shirts?
Well, they are.
Because
yeah,
I know it.
Yeah, that's-
I read that book all about it.
yeah, sure, yeah. I heard all about it in Amsterdam when I lived there, the brown shirts. And they can just indiscriminately just shoot people on the street, which they're doing here. So we've got all that going on, you know, down, 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 down. You're gonna bend to my will. And this stuff now, you can count on it. It's gonna continue to bubble up and say, people are gonna put their foot down more and
Like how
more.
the young people are doing now.
Well, I don't know if it's the young people. I know it's the older people.
I know.
I don't know if it's the younger people.
Oh,
I don't know that.
You know,
They haven't had a great showing yet,
The
in my
young
view.
people
They have not, in my
they're,
view.
they're marching more than anybody.
No, I think it's the older people that are marching. It's the 60s group that's really doing it. I don't think the younger kids are doing
That's what
as
you
nearly
see.
as much as they should be.
That's what you see is older people.
That's right, in the street. They're the ones with the signs, right?
And the people that I know have marched are in their 60s
Yeah,
and 70s.
That's right. So, yeah, it's us that's doing it. The kids have to, right.
They may be too, but I don't know any.
When they start feeling the heat, they're not feeling maybe enough heat yet. They're preoccupied with other stuff. But the point is, there will be a flashpoint or more, I think, I could be wrong, where things are going to really roar. And we're not there yet.
We're
not
almost
yet.
there.
I don't know.
We gotta keep our hope up.
Yeah, well, I think so too. But it comes, for me, that sense of putting your foot down comes from this. That we are loved by God, we're created by God, we're made for freedom, and you're not telling me that I'm not going to be free. Nobody's going to tell me that, right? I mean, isn't that true?
well,
Or do we work for
they're
the?
telling us that right now.
Or do we work for the state? Is that is that our purpose? That when you go to Russia, your existence is only to work for the state. That's the only reason you're alive, is to work for the state, and that's been happening all over the world.
I accepted that all these years. I
Well,
don't understand.
well, because you
I
get
went to Russia. I was dying after I read all the Russian novels. I couldn't wait to go. I don't.
it's third world. It's a third world country with nuclear arms. But you know, what they'll do, and the Cultural Revolution is the same in China, for instance. They did the same thing. You would take all the dissidents, all the people that have an education, blah, 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 and you send them to the gulag, or a version of that. I talked about the Highway of Bones. Remember that? A couple months ago, maybe? Yeah, I forget the number. I want to say 20 million. 20 million people were killed making this highway, and they are the highway. They were buried right there. They are the highway. So when you drive over the Highway of Bones, you're driving over bones for, I don't know, 1,200 miles, something like that. I'm
And
just
why
making
were
that
they
up.
killed?
Because they were dissidents.
Oh.
They said no to the government.
Oh, God, I would.
The Cultural Revolution in China, same thing, right? That all the educated and so on were thrown in trucks and sent out into the fields to work the fields, not to be professors, not to be doctors, not to be lawyers, not to be judges. They worked the fields until they were dead. They did that too, and I think the number is similar. 20 million, maybe? All I'm saying by that is not unusual. That's happening here. I just want to give you the feeling of this stuff. Like, this matters. So when Paul and Peter are preaching, they are sticking their necks out. I mean, this is not going to go well. So we've had so much religious freedom to a degree, to a big degree here. We have religious freedom in this country and have had it for so long. We think, oh, it's just a nice Sunday school story. It's not.
Well, we're advancing in steps. There's a good article today, and I mean, advancing toward this type of, with the dark people, brown and black people, and so forth. There's an interesting article today, I read this today in the Times, about sort of comparing this back to the time of slavery and how when they get this power thing against these people, and then they get the white people who defend them. I think it started out with the Medgar Evers thing back then, but we have the same thing now. The white people who defended all these white marchers we're talking about, our age or what, then they become the enemy and they start killing the people,
Right.
that the white
The white
I mean,
people,
it's
right.
just, there's the whole article
Right.
is about that and how now we've had these two murders. We watched them murder
Right.
two people.
Right. They're going after white people. I mean, we don't care that much if they're killing black people.
people now, so none of us are safe.
Right. Well, there's an old saying. This is a paraphrase. I'll lean forward, Judy, for you about that. They went after the Jews, and we did nothing. We
I
went.
never
Yeah.
understand.
Do you know this? Wait a minute.
They're still
There's a line I want to say. Here's a paraphrase of what was said, and I forget who said it. But they went after the Jews. We did nothing. They went after the Chinese. We did nothing. They went after the blacks. I'm repeating myself. We did nothing. And there's a list. And finally, they came after. Finally, they came after me, and there was no one left to take care of me.
That's right.
And that's what's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
And it's historically over and over.
that's right.
It's the
This is
same-
nothing new. Nothing
And
new.
we see it coming, and we know it's coming,
And we
and
do
we know it's
nothing.
here.
We have not had this since the Revolutionary War, when British officers would just camp out in our houses and take our food, take our taxes, and so on. We haven't had this feeling, I don't think. Civil War has a different feel to me. But the Revolutionary War was like that, like we're just being ripped off and diminished. And the founding fathers, at the risk of their lives, said, enough's enough. And then we have a war of independence, right? That's the movement of history, I would say. But a lot of this feeling of putting your foot down happens here. I'm trying to make that connection. It
Well, the last thing
happens.
he
It happens
says
here.
in that book is we need people to run who have courage. And there are very few.
Yeah, very few. Who wants to do
He
that?
said Kennedy knew he might not make it,
Right.
but he was determined
And I
to.
would say those times are nothing compared to what
Yeah,
we're going
no,
through.
that's
Nothing. So, okay, so that was the introduction. So we're gonna hit chapter 15 now.
Okay.
And we're going to look again. This is more. Remember, we were talking about when the Gentiles were being converted. Cornelius, who was a Roman soldier of all persons. I mean, he should be the last one to become a Christian. He becomes a Christian. Peter has to come back home and have to explain himself. So he has this vision. I had this vision. These foods came down that are absolutely, not kosher at all. And I hear these words, take, eat, Peter. I'm not doing that. I'm a good Jew. I'm not doing that. And what I have made, holy, what I've made acceptable
Yeah.
is just the way it is, because I say so, is what God says, or the voice in the vision says to Peter. So he brings that vision to the back home, because they're asking, well, what gives with the Gentiles? I mean, this is the Jesus movement is a Jewish movement. It's got nothing to do with non-Jews. What are you doing? So now we've got another one. This is the big conference. 15, chapter 15 is the big one. We got plenty of time. Chapter 15 is the big conference. Like, this is where it's going to get settled. Who are the Gentiles? What must they do to be Christians? What are we going to do? They don't know anything. right? They're not Jewish. They don't have any of the traditions. They don't have the patterns of worship. They don't have anything. They're worshiping Mars and, they're up at Olympus and all this kind of stuff. They're pagans. So how can we do this and add them to our number? LGBTQ, can't have them here, right? People of color, we can't have Spanish speakers in here. We're not doing that. We don't speak the same language, right? You choose who you do not want in your company. Okay? And that happens in every organization, every country, every church. Who belongs here? Do you have to have money to come here? Do you have to have social status to come here? Do you have to have a nice house to come here? It's always that's the small print, right? God loves you. Yes. Here's the small print. You can't come. You can't come, and that's the issue in 15. These are very human issues, I think. Typical, right? Who's allowed in your house? Okay. Somebody want to read 1 through 5? 15, chapter 15, 1 through 5. Okay, we've got...
Then certain individuals came down from Judea and were teaching the brothers, unless you are circumcised according to the custom of Moses, you cannot be saved. And after Paul and Barnabas had no small dissension and debate with them, Paul and Barnabas and some of the others were appointed to go up to Jerusalem to discuss this question with the apostles and the elders. So they were sent on their way by the church, and as they passed through both Phoenicia and Samaria, they reported the conversation of the Gentiles and brought great joy to all the believers. When they came to Jerusalem, they were welcomed by the church and the apostles and the elders, and they reported all that God had done with them. But some believers who belonged to the sect of the Pharisees stood up and said, "Is it necessary for them to be circumcised and ordered to keep the law of Moses?"
Okay, thank you. Okay, so can somebody, it's nice to hear a Catholic read the Bible. It's terrific. You do it well. So can someone kind of summarize what's going on here?
Yeah, they want to enter, but they don't want to give them any power.
That's right. They'll be second-class citizens,
Yeah.
right? Unless they are circumcised and taught in the law of Moses, right? Isn't that kind of what the idea is? Did you hear that? Yeah. Okay, so they'll be second-class citizens first. We don't know kind of how to categorize these people. What do we got going here? But okay, if they're circumcised, sounds like the men are going to have a lot of fun, and are taught the law of Moses, then maybe we can let them in. Maybe they'll be legit.
Well, they can't vote like they are. I mean, there's no way they're gonna get.
Yeah, they're really second-class citizens. Yeah, okay. Does that make, there's the party of the Pharisees. St. Paul was a Pharisee,
Yeah.
right? These are experts in the law.
They still want power.
Yeah,
They want their power.
here we go again.
And Jesus didn't, this is not Jesus's law. This is
Right.
the men, the priests, the Pharisees want to keep this in place.
Yeah.
Jesus didn't discriminate.
Is it, can we say, we've got religion over here and we got Jesus over here right now? It kind of feels that way, right? I don't want to do too much with that. But, we're religious, and this is what we do being faithful to our religious tradition means this. We got to do this stuff. Jesus is over here and says, take care of the poor. He's busy doing this.
The Jews are still hung up on all their rules and regulations.
Right, right.
Good for them.
So, good for the other, I think, is what you meant to say. But do you see that? And do you see it in your own life, too? You got to measure up. People have to measure up in order for you to let them in. You have to measure up. It's normal. It's a normal human. I don't want to be too hard on these guys either. You know, I get it. You know, you have people that are very different in terms of their history and their traditions and what they think about, their worldview, and you're going to let them into your company.
Well, there's always a fear of the unknown. So if you're not exposed to the other people, you're afraid of them and you build up walls and you never get to know.
Right, yeah, you don't trust them, it's hard to, I mean, do you give people your trust until such time as they break it? Or do you have people prove that they're worthy of your trust and then they're in? You know, some people are different that way. As far
I
as
try to think that you're innocent.
you're innocent until proven guilty, right? That's all I'm saying is you know, this is very human stuff.
Yeah.
Very human stuff. I remember one of my best friends, maybe my best friend in Peapack Gladstone, Lyall, painter. I've talked about him in the pulpit. Really quite a well-known painter of the California school. He'd sell paintings for 10 grand. Lee Hughes is a good friend of mine. This is Peapack Gladstone in New Jersey. And we were good friends. I lived right down the hill from him. So I saw him often. And he lived in a garage for 23 years. I mean, in an unfinished garage with a cot. He was in his 60s when I met him. And his studio was the garage as well. Anyway, I could tell you a lot of stories about Lee. But he had overalls, I mean, a real painter. And so he was just full of paint with overalls. He was a mess. He was a spectacular alcoholic. I mean, not just an ordinary run-of-the-mill alcoholic, but spectacular.
What were his paintings like?
I have 2 of them in my house.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So anyway, he was obviously not all that interested in religion or the church or anything like that, which is fine with me. But one day, he waltzed into the church on a Sunday morning, and the congregation gasped. He was full of paint. He was wild hair, full of paint. And one of the elders afterwards said, "We do not have people like that in our church."
Shame on him.
Her.
Or
Yeah. And so, you know, it's a normal human response not to like that. The problem with it in a Christian context is those were the very people that Jesus went to. And that's the problem. You've got religion over here. We want to know, we have our own traditions, our own rhythms, our own liturgy, our own, all that stuff. Over here, we've got Jesus saying, yeah, we like these people. Right? You were saying that last time, Sandy, with your friend, the prostitute. So, but that's it. You meet people where they are, and knowing that we are all made in the image of God. I think that is the approach of Jesus, isn't it? When he meets people, we are made in the image of God, and almost always he gives compassion. He does not give a lot of compassion to leadership, because they are in the image of God. Therefore, they should be compassionate toward these images of God. You see what I mean?
You know, it strikes me that this type of thing, especially in the early church when they're building it, and they knew exactly what Christ said and what he taught, and yet they take it upon themselves to be judgmental, which is, you're not supposed to. He tells us, that's one thing he does tell us.
Right.
Don't be.
They go
So I
right
think
back
that's
to it.
It doesn't go together
Right.
that they would do this.
They go
and
right
we're
back.
Doing what we do. with
That's right.
the churches here,
That's right.
you know.
It happens all the time, right? We go right back to the safe spot, which is our religious tradition. And by the way, I think some religious traditions are terrific. They're terrific. But we go right back to it and we leave him over here, right? Rather than have this Christ being the center of our lives, you know, moving us in a Christ-like way, trying to figure that out. It's not so easy. But we go back to the traditions, to our habits, to our, I mean, how many times have you changed seats in a pew? I sit right over there every Sunday. I don't have to. I could sit here. I sit up there.
So when did all this prejudice come about against the Jewish people?
Beginning of time.
Beginning of time.
But they don't, we were all Jewish.
Well, we're all human, right? It was Abraham, when God comes to Abraham, that's when the Jewish people started, was Abraham.
I
He's,
realize that.
he's the father of our faith.
Why didn't they believe what he said?
Well, none of us do that well. Right? I mean, I don't know too many people that...
Yesterday, I guess she asked co-pilot on the, I said, I don't believe what he's saying.
The Jewish people started with Abraham's, and Muslims would say their tradition started with Abraham. And Christians say we started with Abraham.
Everybody started.
The three major religions in the West all say our faith starts with Abraham,
Yeah.
being called out of Ur of the Chaldees. Anyway, so all right, so we've got this thing now, right, under this cauldron, this hot time in Palestine with the Romans and the Jewish leadership and people getting stabbed in the back and the you know, that we've got that going on with this going on now on top of it. Like, okay, maybe as Jewish Christians we can kind of hold it together, but we don't know what to do with these people now. It's getting complicated, right? If we can kind of humanize this stuff, right? It's getting complicated. We can't have Roman centurions coming into church on a Sunday morning. Can we?
Yes.
That's exactly what their leader told them to do, though.
And this is what we're going to get at.
But, yeah.
Right. This is what we're going to. This is the conversation. We've had this with LGBTQ as well. We can't have these people in church, can we? Can't do that. We can't do that. It's changed here, but it's not changed in lots of other places. It has not
Well, the
changed.
Pope, yes, he did say it.
Yeah.
Francis said it, gave a whole speech.
Yeah. What business is it of mine? Is what he said.
He accepted.
Yeah. So the issue of inclusion, and we're talking real inclusion. We're not just, it's not a passive, oh, sure, you can sit anywhere you want. It's friendship. It's friendship. We're going to have these people in our houses. We're going to have them for dinner. We're going to get to know these people. It's not just, you can sit in the back. We're going to be friends. We're brothers and sisters in Christ. That's the movement here. It's big. Can you see why people liked it? Can you see why outsiders would like it?
Would like it?
Would like that?
The
Well, they
outsiders,
feel welcome.
You're welcome.
yeah, but the insiders.
The insiders are, wait a minute, you look different, you dress different, you talk different, you got a different point of view, you have a different experience. So what's gonna be the glue here to pull all this together?
Christ.
It's gotta be Christ. Gotta be. It's not gonna be your tradition, because not everybody has it. It's not going to be your worldview, because not everyone shares it. It's not going to be your wardrobe, because everybody looks different. It's not going to be what you eat or what your grandmother cooked for you, because everybody's different. This centurion probably never had a matzo ball, right? I mean, think about it. It's all different. It's just different. And can differences come together into some kind of unity? It's not going to be uniformity. It won't be uniformity. It won't be. Not for 250 years until Constantine. He'll start to make it uniform. But before this, for 250 years, it's unity, not uniformity. It just won't be. So every church in all these little towns all over the place kind of have a different vibe. They all have a different vibe because they all have different people in them. It's fun, a little chaotic, but very different than what we know, where there's a sense of continuity wherever you go. You can go to a Reformed or Presbyterian church in Kathmandu, and it's going to be basically the same thing. That was not the case for the first 250 years or so of the Christian church. It was, you go to Thessalonica and they got a different vibe. You go to Corinth, they got a different vibe. You go to Athens, different vibe, because of the continuity of each congregation. All they had was Christ. That's it. That's all you get.
That's all you need.
That's all you get, and that's all you need. So we have 7 minutes. We can see what they do, right? So let's take a look at 6. Can we maybe read through 21, 6 through 21? So kind of a chunk there. But let's try it.
You want me to continue?
Sure.
Oh, okay. The apostles and the elders met together to consider the matter. After there had been much debate, Peter stood up and said to them, "My brothers, you know that in the early days God made a choice among you, that I should be the one through whom the Gentiles would hear the message of the good news and become believers. And God, who knows the human heart, testified to them by giving them the Holy Spirit, just as he did to us, and in cleansing their hearts by faith. He has made no distinction between them and us. Now, therefore, why are you putting God to the test by placing him on the neck of the disciples, a yoke that neither our ancestors nor we have been able to bear? On the contrary, we believe that we will be saved through the grace of the Lord Jesus, just as they will." The whole assembly kept silence and listened to Barnabas, that's the laugh, and Paul, as they told of all the signs and wonders that God had done through them among the Gentiles. After they finished speaking, James replied, "My brothers, listen to me. Simeon has related how God first looked favorably on the Gentiles, to take them from among them a people for his name. This agrees with the words of the prophets as it was written. After this I will return, and I will rebuild the dwelling of David, which has fallen from its ruins, and I will rebuild it, and I will set it up, so that other peoples may seek the Lord, even the Gentiles, over whom my name has been called. Thus says the Lord, who has been making these things known from long ago. Therefore, I have reached a decision that we should not trouble those Gentiles who are turning to God, but we should write to them to abstain only from things polluted by idols, and from fornication, and from whatever has been strangled, and from blood. For in every city, for generations past, Moses has had those who proclaim him, for he has been read aloud every Sabbath in the synagogues.
Okay, so what was the decision? What did Peter's the defending attorney in this sense. How is he putting this?
Well, Peter says he's going to teach them, and they're going to become more believers.
To be more inclusive. And what does he stand on? What is the foundation of his argument?
Christ.
Yeah, it's in some sense, in the first instance, it's not about these other people.
No.
It's about this person. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
He doesn't argue, well, they're nice people and they mean well and they're doing well. He does some of that. The Holy Spirit has come into them and they've received God's good news and all that. He does say that. But the final argument really has to do with the character of God. If God is for it, that's kind of the end of the story, right? That's the end of the argument. And if God is inclusive,
Yeah.
that's it. Right? That's it. Now at the end, he'll say, okay, well, they have to, they're not going to be involved with idol worship, and meat strangled, and blood, and that sort of thing. So, I don't know. I have tried to strangle a cow. Really hard to do.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding.
From things
You
straight
didn't say forward that time.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of back area. See, you're picking it up. So yeah. So all right. So we're going to give them some. We're not going to have certain things happening here. Okay. But as far as like circumcision, no. We're going to let that go. That was huge, right? That was a big one, right? To be entered into the Jewish faith is, terribly important.
What does abstain from blood mean? Killing?
Yeah, I would imagine just or being involved in maybe I don't know. I'd have to look that up. I don't know. I've got my own opinions about that, but that's all I've got.
If you're strangled, you probably wouldn't have a lot of blood, so you have to watch the strangle things and then the blood.
But if you're strangled, you
way,
cut
don't
off
do
the blood.
Yeah.
That's right. Judy's a nurse. She knows
It
these
seems
things.
like it's two
Either
different
way.
things.
Stay
I think it
away
is
from
two different things.
One thing's
I think it is two
abstain
different things.
from- And then abstain from blood. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what.
I'll look it up. I'll look that up. What they're meaning by that. So, okay.
They talk about Moses. I mean, they really are, their decision was made because of what Moses said.
And also the prophets.
Yeah.
They quote the prophets. Like, God is
They
going to
didn't
do a new
mention
thing.
that Christ said that,
Mhm.
but anyway.
Well, what Jesus, as his ministry and his death and his resurrection come from all that, right? It's a stream that flows through the Old Testament to Jesus. And yeah, that's that. But let me just say this too, before the bell rings. John the Baptist had a real problem with Jesus. You know that, right?
I didn't.
Yeah, John the Baptist got himself in trouble with Herod, right? There's a story behind that, but basically he spoke truth to power, and that got him thrown into jail. And he starts to hear things about what Jesus is doing. He baptized Jesus, right? So he's starting to hear things from through the grate about what Jesus is involving himself in. And John the Baptist is thinking, we are having a political revolution here, and Jesus is the Messiah, and that's what he should be doing. What he's hearing is that Jesus is hanging out with lepers and healing people, and he's going up to Samaria and talking to Samaritans. You know, he should be doing that, and teaching stories about grace and love and compassion and things like that. And John is really has had it with these stories. So he says to his disciples through the grate, you know, go back to Jesus and say, are you the one, or should we look for another?
Did he?
Yeah, that's what John the Baptist said, because whatever's going on out there with Jesus is not what I have in mind. We want him to be a political leader. We want Jesus to be a political leader, and he's not doing it.
No.
So he's over here. So he's not really religious. He's not really Jewish in some ways. Jesus is not really a Christian in some ways. He's not really political in some ways. He's other. He's other. What the Dutch call the boss. He's the boss. He's different than that. So when you say he's this, and this, there may be something about him as far as the Jewish religion, and there is. There may be something about him in the Christian religion, and there is. And there may be something that he deals with politics, and there is. But he's not that. He's over here. He's the boss. So that's a Dutch word, by the way. We get that. We get that from the Dutch. The boss.
Your boss?
The boss. B-O-S-S. That's
Yeah.
Dutch.
Is
Dutch.
it?
It
Yeah.
has the same meaning?
Yeah. This is capital B, what I'm talking about, though. Capital B. That's the boss. So he's other, and so they have to recognize that. So next week, are we done? You want to do a little bit more?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you do? Okay, I'm game for that. It really don't work. We'll meet next week?
Yeah.
Okay, because, if you've had enough, we can stop.
No.
It's okay. It's okay, all right. Okay.
You know what I used to say when I was a kid? I'd see all the Jewish kids in the neighborhood couldn't wait for Saturday because they were going to go to the synagogue, and they had all kinds of programs. And what did I have? Nothing. Because the priest would say to me, do you have $1? If I say, well, we're not going to get $1. You can't march today.
Oh.
Wasn't he wonderful? She laughed every time I tell a story. He was a horror. But they made him a bishop after he built the school.
There you go.
And bingo game.
That's right.
He made money.
Oh,
money.
He made money.
Yep.
All that,
There
that's
goes my
what-
plaque.
I used to say to my mother, how come the church won't sell a Michelangelo painting and give it to them? I mean, after all, that's what Bishop Sheehan eventually did. He got in trouble with selling the building.
Bishop Sheehan was probably listening to the boss.
Yeah.
That sounds like the boss was behind that one. That's got boss written all over it.
And I used to say, why did they say that Jesus, no, what was I going to say? Oh, the Jews were chosen. Thank God I wasn't chosen when I see them being tortured.
Well, they've said that too. I've had
I'm
Jewish
sure
friends
they
tell me
say
that, choose somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? Choose the Christians for a little while.
I never understood that, even as a kid. I think I got it off of my machine.
All right, Jane. Go on, be good.
Well, that's what she says.
Yeah, Grace, this is Sandy Beaumont.
Yes.
I said,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
you have
She was at the last one, and she was sitting at the end of the table.
Yeah, well, I know. The other day, oh, those are your fault.
Those are my gloves, you can't have them.
No, I would lose them anyway. I had them, I don't.
You could have them, now, I would give them to you.
I wouldn't have them long.
Okay, kids.
So,
I always lose one of them anyway.
Yeah,
I lose one glove.
oh, I do too. And it's always the same one. I never.
It's gotta be your right
I would
hand.
wear them as a mixed pair, except
Right.
that it's always, they're all
So-
one hand or the
You
other.
lose your right hand, because I would lose my left hand.